Sports Chasers Podcast. Coming to you live and direct with your host and your moderator, Kevin L. Warren. This is a real sports podcast for real fans.
Good evening, everybody. This is Sports Chasers Podcast. I'm D-Dub, and I got the bus, and I picked up a couple of my friends. The DA was good.
Yo. Oh, man,
Fourth and short.
nothing. Everything hurts.
Everything.
Everything fucking hurts.
I feel you. Hey, my main man, the hockey dude, Dan's on the. What's going on?
Not much, man. What's up? Good to see everybody. Let's get at this.
Let's do this. Let's do this. Yo, fourth and short. Hey, man. First game where I really wanted to get into is the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills, which was a good game, 20-17. Patrick Mahomes and crew tried to make a miracle comeback, but one thing happened. Your foot got to be behind the line of scrimmage in order to snap the ball without it being offsides. DA, I talked about this all day, most of the day, and the amount of crying that I heard all day today was ridiculous. I'm gonna give it to you. What say you?
What I say is, you know the rules, right? So we can cry all we want, and guys go, "Oh, this happened. They never call it." Don't matter whether they never call it or always call it or could call it. The reality is wrong. And this time around, they called it. And it's not like you could go back to the film and say, "Oh, you guys were not right."
Mm-hmm.
You can't say that. Now you can say, "Gosh, you're upset about when you called it and how it impacted the game and how we lost and all those things you can talk about." But you sure enough cannot say that it didn't happen. So with that being said, you can't say anything because it happened. Whatever reason, however you want to say it, I don't know if that cost you the game. There were other drops and other miscues during the game that you could have before that point in time. So yeah, you can complain because this time you got. But if we keep it 100 with everyone, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of games we could go get tapes of where Kansas City was on the good side of a non-call.
Correct.
And won a game. So that said, you win some, you lose some. I don't want to hear the BS. Just play the games. I'm sorry.
Well, let me ask you this: there's a common denominator. They keep on blaming the wide receivers. What say you? They had a great wide receiver and let him go.
It's pretty simple, man.
Mathematics. That's what I say.
Mathematics. You got one group or one allotment of dollars for the team.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to get groceries with that money, and you go buy two T-bones. Well, guess what? The only other thing you can eat for the next week is maybe some turkey and some cheese.
Spam,
maybe some spam.
Spam in a can.
Yeah, and some Wonder Bread, right? Because you spent the money.
Hey, a T-bone gonna run you what? About $40, $35, $40?
Yeah, you get two of those, you $80 in. So this week we not eating nothing else, baby. That's it. And that's all they did. Listen, Mr. Mahomes, you had receivers that were never offside. You had receivers that caught everything you threw them. And then you took a bit of money, and then Tyreek said, "Well, if you take all that money, then I can't take my money." Mm-hmm. So Tyreek said, "I'll go over here and take the money." And I don't think Tyreek has been offsides the whole year. So with that being said, listen, man, you paid for this.
Right.
The receivers you have are the receivers you paid for based upon the salary that you have left. Hey, I'm not going to say it because it just happened, but let's say it jokingly, Dan. There's no Shohei Ohtani's in the NFL. And I'm not saying that you should, because I believe it is the team's money to shepherd their own dollars. But if that isn't an avenue or something that you can do, boy, cats better start doing it and deferring some dollars to the end so they can keep their teams right, and you can keep the receivers and the players and whatever else you need so you can win. It's not that hard, man. Just, help your team allocate, and this, like I said, I'm not saying it's right for you to give back money or take less money. because I don't believe in that shit. We are in America, and I'm capitalist all the way.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is you just have to work something out with the teams to where you can get yours and they can get theirs. That's all. No more, no less. So that's all it is. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
What's up?
Dan, I'm gonna get you in here. But first, I'm gonna run down. Hey, Josh Allen, 23 or 42, 233 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. Patrick Mahomes, 25 or 43, 271, 1 TD, 1 interception. So both of them pretty much canceled one another out. James Cook, the running game collectively for Buffalo, 28 carries, 118 yards. For the Chiefs, 18 carries, 82 yards collectively. Um, what did you say, Dan? What you got on this game?
Well, I caught bits and pieces of this game towards the end, and I'll say this, like you said, the quarterbacks kind of washed each other out. The Chiefs missed Pacheco. The Chiefs defense, they missed some assignments, and they let Cook out on that. I guess it would be the round looping score that like he ran around the outside and they just threw him the pass and nobody covered him. But as far as that play goes, I can say this. Mahomes at the end of the game lost his fucking mind. And when he got to the mic at the press conference, he had a different attitude. Because guess what? He saw the play and he knew that fucker was offsides.
I mean, he was all sides.
Here's the thing. You watch any college football game. The receiver comes up to the line. They look out to the outside. They point to the ref. Am I good? And they just say yes or no. He went up to the line and he looked straight ass forward. All he had to do is look at the center and go, wow, I'm in front of the fucking football. Maybe I need to take a step back.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted,
if you're last man on the line,
that fucked up probably one of the best plays of the year.
Mm-hmm.
For Kelsey to think about throwing that ball back to Tony and him running in. But on the other hand, it's the same shit with the Chiefs. They keep dropping stuff. Like, I forget who it was. They threw one across the middle. Guy had a first down. The guy didn't strip the ball out of his hands. He just couldn't catch it. And it was right in his hands. But, for me, the other thing on that is yes, he was offsides. 100%. I'm not going to argue that. It is what it is. But then I also saw Von Miller line up in the neutral zone with no call. So
consistency. That's all we ask for.
That's all we're asking is call the same shit on both teams, whether it's offense or defense. Because we'll go.
Not gonna do that.
I'm going to take a little caveat back to Thursday night when the long snapper had his hand on the ball, slowly picked his head up and turned his head, and the guy jumped offside. They snap it, and they called it on the snapper, which was complete bullshit. But be consistent. Call that all game. If the other team does it or we do it again, call it. That's all we're asking. Like, I could say this. Like, as far as the games have been going this year, there seems to be a trend where the officiating gets worse and worse as the year goes on. And
I think they're getting fatigued, Dan.
And that's possibly so. But I'm trying to think. I think it was the crew that did the Green Bay game against, or the Chiefs game last week when the dude, he absolutely got
they got in trouble, didn't they?
I don't know, but the receiver Scanling got just absolutely mugged before the ball got there with no call. But that's the same crew that worked, I think, the Falcons Saints game where the dude absolutely just interfered with the receiver and they didn't call it. So it's like, I'm not in the camp of we need permanent referees, because then we're going to get in the MLB situation where you have people that are just absolutely dog shit and you can't get rid of them.
Mhm.
Can't do nothing with it. Yeah.
So I get, but you need a little more influx of backups or other opportunities or people that you can get into these games to get experience and call games, because it just seems like the longer this season goes, the more atrocious the calls are getting. And all we ask is call it the same and call it the same for both teams. That's
Right.
all we ask. So if the defense is offside, call it. Tony's offside, call it. I'm okay with them not getting that great play because the guy was absolutely freaking offsides. Because as a casual football fan, I watch football when it's on, but I'd rather watch hockey, so I'm going to watch it when it's on opposed to football. But as well as I do, if you're sitting there, and I'm at home looking at the game and I'm like, this fucking guy's lined up in the neutral zone. They run the play, no flag. And I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Just because he didn't move, you don't call it? I mean, he's got his head past the football. And I think it was was it the Eagles Cowboys game? They had a similar thing where they called back the first down on one of the tush pushes because they said that the guy was lined up too far up on the line,
right,
to the center. And it's like, okay, whatever. Just be consistent. And whether it's offense, defense, call the shit.
Well, I think there's a huge issue, Dan, with what you're talking about. And maybe, I don't know if they've probably looked at this to see, do we have more bad calls later in the games? And all the referees becoming progressively worse over the 17 weeks? So maybe not just the players are physically getting fatigued. We got refs that are fatigued, and they are not getting downfield as fast, so they can't see what's going on. They can make a quick judgment as to what they think should happen.
I'll say this. If you're a casual fan and you see the commercials with the AA Ron substitute teacher, what the hell is it?
Yeah.
But when they're having, like, at the beginning of the season, they're having these things where they're like, okay, we're going to do this year because it's in the script. What can we do? And if you're a casual fan, you're like, yeah, this shit is almost scripted.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you'd hope it's not scripted,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, you're seeing shit and you're just like, yeah, this actually might be in the cards.
Yeah.
And if you want to loop that in with now the NFL is in with DraftKings and all this other stuff.
Yeah. I remember when Tony Romo got in trouble for doing something with DraftKings, and then the next year we were in bed with DraftKings. So I didn't know he liked that guy. Next thing I know, I wake up next to him, and he's taking my kids to practice. So that's an issue for me.
But Kansas City had Kansas to win this game. Otherwise,
the
guy that he threw the pass to. Allen threw the pass to down the sideline, and the guy stripped the ball. And the defensive back that was coming in for the hit was trying to lay him out and had his head down. But if he would have, had proper technique and had his head up and come in to tackle him, he would have said, "Oh shit, the football's on the ground. Let me not try to kill this guy. Let me get the actual football to help my."
Well, you get if you know how to tackle.
Yeah. So,
but the weirdest thing is, Dan, you can get all the way to the NFL with the hit stick without wrapping up, without taking the dude down. You can do all that.
Hey, we had this conversation last night at work while we were watching the Kansas City Buffalo game, and Ryan Shazier, love him, glad he's doing well, but when he came to Pittsburgh, yes, he was fast as hell, but his thing is he'd run through the line or run to the spot where the running back was. He never wrapped up. He always just tried to hit him and try to knock him over.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no, man, you got to wrap up. And of course, he led with his face all the time and ended up catching up with him. But that's my thing. It's like,
Broke his neck.
Mhm.
Yeah, like the dude that came up to try to kill that receiver or running back that caught the ball and fumbled it. If he would have had his head up, he'd have been like, the
Seeing
football's
that
on the ground.
didn't have the ball.
Yeah, he didn't have the ball. He just falls on it.
He's been fine.
First time Kansas City. Here we go.
Yeah. Well, that's what
I'm saying. Like,
that's what
that one
wanna
play,
hit,
like you run that same exact play, and he has the same idea what he's going to do. That play works 1 out of 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that dude that was coming up to tackle him, damn near got his fingers on the football and ruined the whole thing.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
And it's like, yes, that was awesome. And I thought that was very like a high IQ football play.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you can't, like, there was a minute 12 left. You still had time.
And the thing is that because it was that awesome play, is the reason why they looked back and saw that he was offsides.
No, they
threw the flag immediately.
Yeah, they threw the flag immediately. There was no question whether he was offside or not.
Yeah,
it was going to go down.
You couldn't even see the football from the sideline when they showed the side view.
Yeah.
So you knew he was offside.
It was going down. So it was nothing else that Kansas City could do. And I like D-Dub. I do have an issue with the all morning hearing them complain about this crap.
Mm-hmm.
You know you was wrong. All right. You were speeding. You just got caught this time.
You just got caught, bro.
Everybody speeds, but you got caught this time. It's okay, bro. It's all right. We'll live.
Yeah.
No more than less.
That's it, man. But yo, we're gonna move right along. Hey, the second game of the day that was probably was the most looked forward to game was Cowboys versus the Eagles, and the Cowboys, let's say they got revenge because they took an L early in the season, and at home they looked really, really sharp in the beginning. From the start, they looked sharp, man, and so 33-13 win over the Eagles, man. DA, your boy Jalen Hurts, 18-27, 197 yards. Did not have a great game.
He put the ball on the ground once.
Yeah, him and his compadres.
They all did.
AJ Brown. And
AJ, everybody couldn't hold on to the rock.
Hold on to the ball.
And Smith dropped one, or fumbled one.
Yes, he rarely does that. So I think what's happening now is it's that one turns into two.
Mm-hmm.
But they say that happens with the Niners. You lose 2 games when they beat you, then usually the team that they beat the next week they lose as well.
Right.
Not sure why. It kind of is what it is. I don't think it's a referendum on Dallas being great or them being bad. It just may mean that they need some darn rest to get themselves right, to get the right players on the team on the field. And kind of work out.
And I was going to ask you that because it seems like as soon as the win happens in this NFL, these talking heads, man, immediately want to throw the Eagles away. And I'm like, whoa, how are we throwing the Eagles away and automatically making a two-man race between San Francisco and Dallas?
I don't want to be in a race if it's like that. That's not what I believe in. So. I still think Detroit has a chance. Like any given Sunday, it can go down. But the point I'm trying to make is that, okay, Dallas won. Good game. I know it makes for good TV because everybody watches Dallas and loves Dallas. And a lot of people, it makes for
America's
good TV.
Team, baby.
America's team.
Team.
But the reality is that it was a good game that they won. They played a good game. They did what they were supposed to do.
Any thoughts on Dak?
Philly didn't look as good as they should. Dak played a good game. Like I'm a weird guy because I have an expectation for professional athletes. You get paid money to do your job.
Mm-hmm.
And he did that. Now, if that includes running and doing, he did everything he was supposed to do to win. And I've seen him do everything he was supposed to do and lose. The last time they played Philly, he did everything he was supposed to do.
He played good. Yeah, he played good.
It happens, and so they'll be all right. And I think Philly will figure out their defense. It just looks like that team is really tired right now, and I'm not a Philadelphia fan, and I'm sure enough not going to apologize for them at all.
Mm-hmm.
But again, we'll say this: they got some things to pull together, and I don't think their back end is that bad. I don't think they're, and I don't think Dallas is that much better than them.
Mm-hmm.
But they got them this time, and that's what it is. I got no more. to say about that, because you see the hat on my head, and this is what it is.
And a matter of fact, this is what I was saying. I was saying if I would be more scared because if Philly would have went in Dallas and beat them, and then met up with them in the playoffs, that's what I would have been scared for Philly. But being that Dallas got this game, it could go either way. This if they play a third time. So, because usually if you beat up on the team 2 times in a row,
It's hard to beat them.
that third time you're gonna get caught out there. You know what I'm saying? So, kudos to Dallas. Played well. Dan, what you got on Dallas and Philly?
First of all, finally Dallas beat a winning team.
Yeah.
Now everybody and their brother that's a Cowboys fan is posting shit on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It doesn't matter.
That star is out there, boy.
I apologize. I apologize, Miss Debbie, because I can kind of assume that you're a Cowboy fan, but that's the way it rolls. When they finally, get, to the point where they're beating a winning team, now it's, hey, we're back to, preseason. We're champions. We're going to win the Super Bowl, this, that, and the other. Here's the thing. Philly is not that good. And I say this.
Not right now, then.
I'll say this because from there, they're what, 9-4 or whatever.
10-3.
But
10-3, yeah.
They've yet to play. Like they've had spurts where they looked really good, but for the most part, it's been kind of ugly on offense. And now teams are being able to exploit their weakness. And it's not on the wide side of the field, it's in the middle of the field. They can't cover. And that's what teams are starting to figure out, and they're exposing it. That's what San Fran did, that's what Dallas did. And then you couple in the fact that they turned the ball over like 3 to 5 times. It's like every time they had a chance. Look at the score of this game was what? 33-13, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The only touchdown they scored was Jalen Carter with the scoop and score.
Yeah.
So offensively,
for Philly,
they didn't do shit.
They didn't do nothing.
Every time they got going, the receivers or Hurts fumbled the football.
Yeah, that's why I think this thing is sometimes got to be fucking fixed.
I think that's part of their issue, though, is they lost, Hargrave and some other guys over the, off season.
And
you know what I'm saying?
And if I may step in, Dan, and this is what kills me when I'm watching this. I saw what's the guy, Rex Ryan. He's always crying sexy Rexy for a job on ESPN, right? But listen, this is the funniest part. What the hell do you expect? They lost their offensive coordinator and their defensive coordinator. Things are not going to be exactly as it was last year. There are going to be changes. Period.
Different calls, different gut
calls,
feelings. The whole 9 yards.
And you lost players, and you lost players, and you lost
coordinators.
Coordinators. You're not going to be exactly as you were last year. What I think we need to do, not to be funny, is maybe we need to give credit to the fact that they are 10-3.
Exactly.
After losing all of that.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. They haven't played like they did the year before on either side of the football. They've found ways to win. So that's a credit to the players and the coaches to get the most out of what they got with all that they lost. And it's a matter of time before the coordinators get up to speed and find the rhythm and figure out, what to call when, and how it works. And that's what I'm saying. Like they haven't played great all year. They had spurts, but I think in these last 4 weeks now, they're going to figure this shit out. And then when it comes time to come to playoffs, like D-Dub said, if you beat the same team twice, to beat them a third time is really hard. But if you split, now Dallas is feeling high that, we can beat this team. They're always going, we played like shit. They got out the building. So they're still confident going into the next time that they meet. So
absolutely.
So there's credence to that where, okay, it's regular season, it doesn't mean anything. The only caveat to this for Philly is you kind of put yourself over the barrel because now San Fran's 1, Dallas is 2,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not the division leader anymore. You're back to number 5.
But
Right.
But Dallas will do Dallas things, and they'll
Yeah.
find a way to fuck this up.
But also that
Oh, yeah.
Philly has the easiest road there.
Exactly.
I don't think they don't play another winning team.
They play the
of the year.
Giants twice, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, they lost this one, and they're number 5 now. But if they handle business against the Giants both times,
yeah.
Dallas will find a
Which shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, but they'll find a way.
Yeah. Well, Dallas
Right.
has Dallas has.
But I will say
Buffalo
this.
and Miami in their next 4.
Yes.
So
Yeah, Dallas does have a Buffalo and Miami in the next 2 weeks, and yes,
But
so
I will say this about Dak
on the road.
If besides the here we go, he's bad as
here we go.
He's bad as let's ride. But anyhow, if you see him now playing quarterback, I noticed this last night when they were playing that he's absolutely got his footwork and his rhythm down now.
Yeah, he's good to go.
He gets the snap. It's 1, 2, back leg, bang. That ball is out.
Talking about Dak.
Yeah. So,
yes.
For Cowboy fans, I think that's kind of been his Achilles heel of the turnovers and stuff from last year and whatnot. But now he's kind of figured out the footwork and the rhythm, and he's playing great.
Yeah.
And the only way that you're going to be able to do anything about that is like San Fran with Young and Bosa. You got to bust that shit up and get in on and make them move.
You gotta get to them.
You can't.
You gotta get them off the square.
It's 1, 2, back foot, bang, it's out.
Yeah,
you got to disrupt that, and we'll see where that goes when that ever gets.
It's so much that you could tell.
Yeah,
you could tell the rhythm. You can see from the TV, from sitting down, you can see he's in the rhythm.
Yeah, he's playing.
You understand? So
he's playing exceptional football, and the talent has always been there, but it was the mistakes that kind of crept in, and he led the league. I think. Well, no, Josh Allen always leads the league in interceptions.
2 years though, he was 1 or 2 in interceptions. So
yeah, and that's the thing is, I think whatever coach they got working with him or whatever guy he worked in the offseason, they figured this out, and now he's playing solid football, and like he may be the dude. That might be the guy that you need to pay money. But
he got it already. He's on this $40 million a year contract, so he's earning what he does.
Yeah,
and I think the rest of the team is doing the little bit that they needed to do to kind of keep up. CeeDee Lamb and guys like that.
And that's the thing. He's got one receiver.
Yeah,
he's only got one receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, not to take shade. What's the other dude that's the receiver? Brandon Cook.
Yeah, Cook and the tight end who they rarely throw. They threw it to yesterday. He looks like he's a pretty good athlete.
Ferguson.
I
think Ferguson's one of them. But like Cook, like Gallup, like both of them between, Gallup and Cooks, they only had 5 receptions.
Yeah, I think
only Pollard had 7.
Yeah,
but
I think Gallup is a better 4 or slot receiver than a 2 receiver for sure. Because if you have him at your second best, that really ain't good. So
but they're making it work, and I said, I really think that Dak figuring out his footwork and getting in rhythms and getting the ball out in time and knowing where to go with the football.
Yeah, I think McCarthy said, "Listen, don't go nowhere else. If you don't see that, then throw the damn thing.
Just throw it out of bounds."
Most definitely.
And I will say this though. One caveat or kudos I want to give is the dude that kicks for them. Was it Brandon Aubrey?
Yeah.
For Dallas.
That dude kicked a 60-yard field goal.
Yeah, man.
And that shit hit the netting.
Yeah.
That's a good 5 yards. Yeah, that and he put 2 off the crossbar on kickoffs.
Yeah, he got leg for days, man.
So I
serious leg.
I think they found their guy. Is the kicker.
They got, Jerry.
He's a
And
kicker.
let
He's a
and let
kicker.
me let
They're
me
not gonna pay
let me
him.
say this before we move on to the next one. Dallas is 7-0 when they're playing in Texas and they're playing at home. So they have something to say that they want to at least get home field advantage for.
Yeah, but
You know,
they're not going.
Yeah.
They're not going to get it. I
Then
don't.
don't lose the rest of the way because if you do, you're not.
Yeah, because they can't
Well,
lose a game. The rest of the way.
no, they can't. But what I'm saying is that they've played well
Yeah,
at
but
home.
the
So
two
this
games,
is what they do.
I think both of those big games, Buffalo and Miami are away games for them.
Yeah, both of them away game. They got Detroit is the last game.
At
Last game of the season at
So
home.
if they lose the
So
Detroit game, you may as well say it's over. And remember, Detroit has something to play for as well. Dudes are just not coming into Texas to lay it down for the
Right.
Cowboys. So just know
Yeah.
dudes are there. They would like to win as well, Cowboy fans. So let's just not think that Detroit's going in there as the sacrificial lamb for you guys and lose the game so you guys can make the playoffs. And
Just a little note here, like this is absolutely sad that Tampa Bay 6-7, and they're in the top 4 of the division.
Dan, I hear what you said. I already know what you're gonna say. I'm not even worried about none of those teams.
But
in the South,
you know what I'm saying.
Baker
Like,
Mayfield in the playoffs.
get rid of this. The conference winner gets in.
Baker
Take
Mayfield.
the top 8 teams.
Yeah,
or
they'll move through it.
Top 7 teams by record. Because
Baker Mayfield, brother.
they're gonna
because
get smashed by
you going. That's what I said. That's why, like, depending on what route it happens, Dallas, anybody, they could get an easy route to the conference championship.
They could be on the road and have to play Tampa Bay.
Oh yeah.
And they're going to be favored.
Yeah,
well,
absolutely.
That's probably what will happen if they come in second. I think that the number 1 team will probably get Tampa Bay.
So right now, like San Francisco is the top team. They're going to get a bye.
Yes.
So Dallas would play Green Bay, Detroit would play Minnesota, and then Tampa Bay would play Philadelphia, I think.
Yeah.
Something to that effect. And
Well,
it's like, I hate the fact that it doesn't even matter if it's the AFC or if it's the AFC North. Because right now, every team in the AFC North is in the playoffs.
Everybody's going to make it.
But the Bengals.
Yeah.
But the Bengals. And that might have changed if they didn't lose their quarterback.
Yeah, when
Hell,
they
the
win games,
backup's playing.
But Browning is playing well.
So is Flacco.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, let's get to that really quick.
Well, speaking of
Go ahead.
Flacco, the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Cleveland Browns came into town, and the Cleveland Browns got a win, 31-27 at home against Jacksonville. Joe Flacco, 26 of 45, 311 yards, 3 TDs for the old guy, as they said, the old man, and 1 interception. AARP.
Yeah,
what you got? Dan, what you got? That's your division right there. Cleveland Browns, they steady, 8-5.
Flacco played well. The defense for Browns played well, but the key to this game was the turnovers.
Yep.
And Jacksonville just kept turning the ball over. They lost by 4?
Yeah.
And if they take care of the football, they probably won this game.
Oh yeah. Well, Trevor like giving it to the other team. So,
but
his ankle didn't look like it hurt. I mean, he looked.
Yeah,
he was moving around.
28 of 50, 257, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And then Flacco went 26 of 45, 311, 3 TDs, 1 interception. But like the defense held Antonine to 35 yards on 14 carries. Johnson only got 12 yards, and Lawrence only got 11 yards.
Yeah, well, they stopped the run for sure. And that dude that had it though. I guess Lawrence is more of a play action dude. So if you have the running game, then he can always draw up the linebackers, and he can drop the ball either in between the linebackers and the safeties, and that's where he makes his money at. But if you're not running, then you can't do that, and the safeties can drop back on you, and now you have 3 interceptions because you got guys out there that you're not really accounting for being there because usually you can run the ball. So you got, those linebackers kind of crowding the line of scrimmage and safeties crowding because you're running the ball so well. But if you're not running the ball against the number one ranked rushing defense in the NFL, then
Right.
their linebackers are backing up and they're waiting for those receivers to come into their zones. And then they're making interceptions like they did. So it's crazy because as Dan just gave those stats, what's weird is that, hey, one guy threw for 3 interceptions and 300-some yards, and one guy threw for 1 interception, and he was last week playing Uno with his kids.
He's playing Madden.
Yeah, he was doing something else last week, and he's now on the NFL
honey-do list.
Yeah, so
he's doing yard work, right?
Yeah, my point is great game, Joe Flacco.
Joe did an excellent job.
Yeah, listen, great. The
Hey,
but
just one, right? Because what do you think about the Browns defense? Because we were saying at one point I was watching, it was 14 nothing, maybe 14-7.
I thought they had them and they let off the gas. I thought that defense probably could have shut them down a lot more than they did, but they gave them room for the comeback. As the Jacksonville Jaguars are a fast team, Irving, whatever, what's the guy's name?
Who you talking?
The tight end went play for the Giants. Ingram.
Oh, Evan Ingram.
Like they're fast.
Yeah, he had 11 catches.
He had 11 catches for 95 yards, man. 2 TDs.
He balled out, but
the only person you're looking for is Calvin Ridley. I mean, Calvin Ridley,
Yeah, I saw that.
Everybody else was kind of non-existent.
Yeah.
4 catches, 5 catches. Everybody had less than 40 yards.
Yeah, so
50 yards.
He couldn't get anybody downfield because they weren't running the ball. And again, the play action thing just got kind of thrown off because of that. But I will say this, man, and I'm not. I'll just say it because I'm thinking it. I don't know what the heck they can be thinking in Cleveland now in the offices when you are winning games with Dorian's 3-name Robinson, another Johnson.
They're on their
guy,
third or fourth quarterback,
and Joe Flacco,
Dorian Thompson Robinson,
my nephew. They are out there winning games, and you gave a man $230 million to sit at home. That is crazy, son.
And
crazy.
There's no urgency to come back and play.
Why? I'm getting paid.
I think last week I heard he was in the press box, man, just chilling in a.
Well, I saw that, and they said they didn't want him to get hurt if something came to the sideline.
What? Oh, come
That's fine.
Stop.
Great, man.
Put his bitch ass in a bubble.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen,
the boy in the bubble. Give him a big old air inflated bubble. Put him on the sideline.
They're paying for him. He's signed, sealed, and delivered. Do with him as you may. He can be in a bubble, rolling around.
He's your $230 bitch right now.
Yeah, $230. Yeah,
put him wherever you want him.
Do whatever you feel is right, man.
You want to, be at the end zone, catch the kicks when they go through the uprights or whatever.
Yeah, be the net guy.
You got to get some money. Get value out of this guy because him watching's not helping you.
Nope, not at all.
Hey, well, we're gonna get into the playoffs. I'm gonna let Dan read off the playoff scenarios in the AFC. But before we get there, last game we're gonna talk about here, Baltimore Ravens at home to the Los Angeles Rams. This game was very entertaining, 37-31. Baltimore with the overtime walk-off, kickoff, punt return for a touchdown. Tylen Wallace, 76-yard punt return. Hey, Dan, what you got? The Ravens, Dirty Birds.
Yeah,
they're the new Dirty Birds.
The thing that this boggles my mind, as bad as our offense is, we have to play them again. And it would not shock me that we fucking beat them.
Right.
And I say that
wouldn't shock me either.
Because I don't know if it's they play down to the competition, what it is, but they are so inconsistent. This is a Ram, they're playing at home. LA had to come across country to Baltimore and play this. Usually when that happens, the West Coast team, it's a different start time. It messes with everything.
Messing with, yep.
Yeah.
And usually that's an easy dub for the East team. But somehow Baltimore always finds a way. They're inconsistent. They always find a way to let teams back into the game.
Yeah. They can't shut anybody out.
No. And they got a good defense, but it just seems like that they have brain farts or whatever it is, and they let people back in the game, or they take their foot off the gas. And this is the first year probably since he's won the MVP that he's played this late into the season.
Yeah.
So
wow, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, they're 10-3 or 10-4 or whatever it is, but man, these are teams you should be taking care of. There's no reason the Rams should be this close to you in your own barn this late in the season.
And the Rams aren't they're what's that a Shamsack County group of guys. They don't have all of their guys there. They're not the same Rams that won the Super Bowl a few years ago. They lost a lot of players. A lot of guys are hurt. Cooper Kupp is just getting back, and that other kid, whoever, rookie of the year.
Yeah, Iko Paku, I think, or something like that.
That dude is nice.
Yeah,
hey, I think he's the only one I've seen a receiver not have gloves on. I don't know if he just didn't have it on that particular play, but it was raining there in Baltimore, and he had no gloves and making spectacular catches. This guy is, if he's not the real deal, man, he's fooling me. But he's pretty good.
He's pretty good from what I've seen. And basically all I can say is that, it's good that they are where they're at. They are number one team. They are the best team in the AFC and quite possibly the best team in the NFL, based upon how, AFC, they've had
which team
games. Baltimore. They can be the best team. They can't play like that.
And they can play like Cincinnati next week.
Yeah, and then they play Cincinnati. Yeah, they are not. They are about as inconsistent as any other team right now in the NFL. They're not a consistent bunch at all. But they are the best in the AFC. And like Dan says, the one thing that's a knock on them to me is they don't put their foot on anyone's throat to ensure that the game is done at the third quarter. Like, hey, listen, we're up 31-10. Don't come back. Right? The first few defensive possessions of the third quarter, of the fourth quarter, we just make sure you don't score, and that's it. That's not what happens. They have brain farts, and the other team gets back.
Or they just play bad against a bad team.
Yeah, well, that's not going to work to get your Super Bowl either.
Yeah, and that's the mind-boggling. I feel for Mikey. Mikey's got to have like a stroke every Sunday when he watches these games because he's like he knows his team's better. He knows his quarterback's better than the other team, but it's like, why is this? Roll that back to the beginning.
Yeah, roll that back. You can see when guys just drops to the ground.
So when he hits about the 30-yard line here, whoever this guy is that's right behind him laying down, knock that dude down from behind.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a game of inches, and like we said, we're talking about.
Oh yeah, look at it. Look at him. Whoa.
Yeah. That dude had no shot.
He got rid of two
blocking
guys.
it back. Yeah.
Oh, he got rid of two guys. He got rid of his guy and another guy
that cost the team one way or the other the game.
Yeah, but yes. But my thing is, Dan, so what the hell are we doing here, Dan?
Right.
What are we doing here, right? So this is my point, and we can close the show on this because I don't have much time.
Yeah.
Why the F? They say they review every scoring play.
For overtime.
No. Let's rephrase that. They review every scoring play to make sure the person got in. They don't review If it was bullshit, and the guy blocked somebody in the back, they're looking, did he step out of bounds?
Yeah.
And
All
did he
right,
cross
then
the goal line?
then I'm done. That's not a football move, I guess, right?
No,
So yeah,
but you understand what I'm saying.
yeah,
They're
no, yeah, you're
only
right.
checking, did
Yeah.
he step out on the sideline? And did he cross the goal line? So, like, what was it? Oregon against
Correct, Dan.
Utah, a couple years ago where the guy ran all the way down and like a foot before he hit the goal line, he dropped the ball like he was going to score. The Oregon guy came, picked the ball up, kind of hovered there for a minute and goes, yep, they didn't call it a touchdown and nobody's moving, and picked that shit up and ran it the
Ran it
entire
back.
That's the thing. That's all they're looking for is
Situational awareness. You got to
did
be
he cross
aware.
the line,
Mm-hmm.
and at any time did he step out of bounds? They're not like that's. I guess we don't really want to go down this path, but
Yeah.
at the same time,
Well-
overtime, the last, let's say fourth quarter overtime, you can use your coach's challenge to challenge a penalty.
Yes.
So, for instance, the Steeler game, where the center has the football, he's holding it, and like they do every fucking time they punt the ball, he grabs it, he looks at it, and then he picks his head up slowly, looks to his right and left. Okay, we good? And then hikes it.
Yeah.
So when the guy runs off sides 3 feet and he snaps it,
Hmm.
how is that he taunted the defense to come across? He didn't.
Yeah.
Same with this. If you're the Rams coach, you have a guy up in you have like in hockey, they have people in the booth that watch all the plays on scoring plays and leading up to the scoring plays. So at any time that, this guy might have been offside, they're reviewing it.
Yeah,
they hit a
right.
button, go, yo, dude, challenge this. And it might have been a minute and a half after the play went in the zone. They circle around forever, but they're going to go back to that time when they first came in. And that's what the clock's going to be at. And they're going to take that goal away. But that's the same thing. Like the Rams coach can be like, you know what? Here's my flag. My guy got blocked in the back, and they can go and review it and see whether he hit him in the shoulder or he hit him in, like just from that video, it looked like he hit him from behind. He might have got him in the shoulder, but even still, at least he has the opportunity to challenge it. And
well, we had one yesterday
Facts.
the Niners with a fake punt, and they got us with a block in the back, and I'm like, come on, dog, you're killing me.
Same thing with what game was that? Was it the Packers and the Chiefs, where Scantlin just absolutely got mauled before the ball got there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let him challenge that. Like, don't make it all game, but when the game actually matters, let's say the last 5 minutes of the fourth, in anything in overtime, you get one challenge.
And Dan, and we're gonna leave on this note, as our insider has just let us know that the refs sometimes have bigger egos than the players, and you can show them and they can see it on the television screen that they're wrong, and they're still not going to change it because they're smarter than the rest of us. So Dan, it goes back to our old MLB referee shit where
Mr. Hernandez. Mr. Hernandez.
I want his damn job. He's like
Mr. Hernandez.
He's the fucking weatherman. He's wrong every day and has the job.
Yes.
Hey.
And they don't fire him.
Exactly.
I don't even think he gets called into the office. So
no.
Yeah, so it is what it is.
Well, yo, fam, everybody, hey, we appreciate you guys. Thank you for joining us tonight. This is our fourth and short, and we're going to
go Niners.
We're going to leave it as that. Fourth and
Corey,
short.
They can't.
Hey, right. Hey, we'll be back Thursday. Come and join us Thursday night with the Sports Chasers podcast, and we'll dive into everything NBA. Talk about this. I was about to say bubble, but this in season tournament and everything else.
I saw a thing on ESPN that the Lakers are gonna raise a fucking banner for an.
Hey man, we're gonna cut his mic off right now. Hey, this is the Sports Chasers podcast. Hey, we'll catch you Thursday night. Peace.
Yeah, peace.
Hey,
man.